Hello again, everyone. It's Todd Sturridge, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival in Edison, New Jersey. It's the final day of the convention, so things are winding down a little bit, but there are still a lot of people here. We had a great weekend, a lot of fans, a lot of great celebrities. And speaking of which, look, the words icon and legend get thrown around quite a bit. But I truly feel that I have the privilege of standing here with a true Hollywood icon, Mr. Chris Sarandon. Chris,
thank you. You're very kind.
Good to meet you.
Appreciate it.
How's the show been for you?
Great. Yeah, having a wonderful time. And also, sometimes the big shows can be a little overwhelming. There's so much noise and so many people. I've been to a couple of shows where there are 100,000 people. And it's really great fun to be at a venue where there's room to walk, first of all. People aren't sort of bumping into each other, and also there's a real sort of atmosphere of friendliness and enjoyment, and people are just having a great time.
Absolutely.
And also the added bonus of being able to see my Fright Night friends again, because we're great friends, all of us. And
that was a big reunion this summer. There's quite a few of you here from the movie, so that was pretty awesome.
One of the most that we've had together, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So I almost don't even know where to start, because there are so many truly iconic roles that you've had. But for me, I'm a child of the 80s, so The Princess Bride has always been one of my top 5 favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a wonderful movie.
And to what do you attribute the staying power of that movie, that 40 years later people meet up? Oh my God, Prince Humperdinck.
Yeah. Well, I first of all, a brilliant script by William Goldman. With very quotable lines. Of course, there's so many people who just know so many things from the movie because they've watched it repeatedly. Also, it's multi-generational because kids love it for one reason, and then as you get older, if you're a kid who watched it with your parents, then you start understanding the little nuances in the movie. The funny stuff that gets funnier, some of the jokes that you didn't get when you were young, you get when you're older. But also, the movie has such a strong heart to it. And the stakes that all the characters are playing are life and death stakes. So that combination, and also it's a great cast. Rob Reiner, beautifully directed. So it's the whole package.
That is true. And, as you know, my daughter wanted to meet you yesterday because of Jack Skellington. That's her favorite movie. Yeah. But you're right, it is generational, because now I'm introducing her to all the movies I grew up with. Right. So The Princess Bride, The Never-Ending Story,
and you can watch them together.
Right, and that I still love at my age, in my 50s, yeah. So
well, memory is a very powerful thing.
Yes.
I do a podcast called Cooking by Heart, and I talk to people about growing up around food, because I grew up in a restaurant. And the stuff that comes up is extraordinary, because I'll be in the middle of a conversation with Cary Elwes, and he'll say, oh God, yeah, and I just remembered my father made a brilliant tortilla española, right? And then it brings back so many things that are important to him. It brought back something that I remembered from when I was a kid. Childhood memory is very strong, and obviously it lasts through our entire lives.
So now I have heard there's rumors, obviously, of a remake of The Princess Bride, and I am not as militant as some people are about remakes. Like any movie, it'll either be good or it won't. Yeah. But I don't know how you feel about it, but all I know is I hope they do it justice. I don't know how they could, but we'll see, I suppose, right?
To me, it's like trying to do Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas again.
Right.
Which Tim has been very specific about, and that is, it was done beautifully, why do it again? And I'm not adamant. I will probably, most certainly not have any part in it at this point. I'm much too old. Unless I had an alternate, William Goldman wrote or tried to write a new version, that is a sequel, and he called it Buttercup's Baby. And he wasn't able to finish it. He just said, I can't get my head around how to conclude this story. Now, personal approach would have been, if I'd been able to talk Bill into it, to call it Humperdinck's Revenge. But that isn't happening. And there's something about having something that's very precious and wonderful and keeping it that way rather than trying to constantly redo it.
So, and just one or two more questions. I don't want to keep too much of your time. Of all these iconic roles you've had, I'm looking at your table over here, Nightmare Before Christmas, Princess Bride, Fright Night. Do you happen to have a personal favorite?
No. I can say that very quickly and summarily because I love them all for different reasons. It's a cliche, but I can say that they're like my kids. You know, so you ask me who's my favorite kid. I love different things about them all and equally. So no, I don't have a favorite.
You know what? I appreciate the fact that you answered that so quickly because it shows conviction in that you mean it.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people give it some thought, you know, or whatever, but that was awesome that you answered that so quickly.
Sure.
So one final question. If there's one piece of advice that you could give, say, to an upcoming actor or actress that wants to get into this business, or even just a general message to the fans out there, what would that be?
Well, the advice to an actor would be don't.
Okay.
It's a job that's filled with heartache, rejection, constant rejection. I was rejected one way or another throughout my career, despite the fact that I was able to do a bunch of wonderful movies. I've been through any number of times where I was turned down for other things. So unless you really feel as an actor that it's something that you have to do, if it's a calling, then by all means do it. And if you do it, then you owe it to yourself to educate yourself. If in a formal way, great, because essentially what actors do is they reflect the world.
Sure.
And you have to know a lot about the world. Travel, go to school, learn other things besides acting. Expose yourself as much as you can to what other people do, how other people react, how other people are, because you are a reflection of humanity. Other than that, I can't think of anything that I would add.
I love it. That I think was a great answer.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Chris, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it. And I mean this as a fan. Thank you for all the joy you have brought us fans throughout the years through your work and through your movies. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Chris Sarandon, everybody here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival here in Edison, New Jersey. This is the horror nerd Todd Staruch signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.